Hello and welcome to the first tutorial of the series, where my aim is to help new players and players who are learning a certain aspect of the game and get them to a level where they can watch a more detailed guide and not be overwhelmed. So before we start, I'm running ACE, CUP and RHS mods, and also in a few seconds, you'll see some basic keybinds up on the screen. Now that's done with, let's go on to the life range. Okay, we're here at the life range. As you can see, this box in front of me contains all your basic items that you will have on yourself. So depending on if you're playing in a server or if you're hosting or joining a non-dedicated server, do ask the game master or whoever's in charge, what gear do you need, alright? So in this inventory we have, ignore all of this because this is all ACE stuff. We won't be going through ACE stuff this time around for today's tutorial. So you have your uniform, your vest, your bag. This is your ops core would be your helmet, your face wear, your night vision, binoculars, primary weapon, launcher, sidearm. This two is navigation. I think it's map, navigation, communication, something and watch. I can't remember, whatever. So this is a basic laser designator with designator batteries. Okay, so I'm going to drag my laser designator into my binoculars slot. Yeah, technically the battery is already loaded inside. As you can see over here, 1 of 1. You can also put binoculars into your actual binocular slot really. Really depending on your server. Then your compass, your GPS, your map, and once again depending on your server and wherever you're playing in, you can or you may or may not be able to use a UAV terminal. So generally GPS, map, and then compass, you might need a watch depending on how immersive do you want to be and how your game is structured. But end of the day, this is really basic. These three things, your binoculars, and yeah, that's pretty basic. So moving on to the next objective is here you will have your first intro to your first weapon. It's a sidearm. It's a pistol. It's very easy to understand, and what it does is, well, it's a very light weapon. You can't penetrate through concrete walls. Just simple wood and thin walls, like as such. Right. So Arma3 is or rather Arma in the sense is that it's a realistic shooter. So you how to say, a terminal ballistic is a thing, meaning to say that your bullets can penetrate through certain objects, and well, I'm not going to go too much into it, but depending on the object, it may or may not be lethal at the end of it. So once again, concrete wall, you can't do it because it's a pistol round. Then thin wood walls, you can. In metal walls, sometimes you can do it depending on ammunition, which we will not be going through in this tutorial. Next, you have your SMG. I'm going to pick up the scope first. Then the SMG. It's pretty much a pistol, but it fires a lot faster. So same thing. Wood, thin. To switch fire mode, you press F. This is full auto, by the way. Then take a look at this piece of thing at the top of the gun. That's what we call a rail system, or more commonly known in the game as RIS, rail interface system. What it does, it allows you to attach various optics, as you can see here. The slot is like is highlighted, so you can drag and drop in your optic into it. As such. Oops, I need to reload. Alright. Quickly on to the next one would be a shotgun. Pretty basic. I don't really think I need to explain a shotgun, right? Do I? So here's what a shotgun does. It uses a slug, as you can see from the top right. Uses a slug round. Apparently it does go through. This is a automatic shotgun. Same thing, I think it uses slug. Yep. Same effect. Okay. It's a 5-rounder. And then onwards to your next weapon will be an assault rifle. We all know all of this. If you are playing Arma, you most likely have experience in other first-person shooters. So I think an assault rifle isn't anything new to you. It's just that you have to get used to the handling. Depending on the assault rifle, too, it may not have a lot of kick, unlike the AK. Okay, onwards to the next one, which would be your M249, which is a automatic weapon. Also, I forgot to mention that assault rifle comes in generally comes in two different fire mode: semi-auto and automatic. Whereas your squad automatic weapon or your SAW, your GPMG, they only come in one fire mode, which is your spray and pray mode, which is just straight on full auto. I'm going to demonstrate right now. You can control your fire mode as you can just tap your trigger, which is your mouse 1, or you can just press and hold and just do a sweep. Right? Okay, onwards to the next one, which is your DMR. Stands for Designated Marksman Rifle. In my opinion, this is very debatable, so don't quote me on that. DMR, to me, it's an assault rifle with a high-powered scope. Yeah, essentially it's a assault rifle with a longer zoom or higher powered scope, depending on how you want to put it. Generally it's the same. Onwards to your sniper. So once again, to me, how a DMR and a sniper rifle is differentiated is that a DMR uses more of a assault rifle round. I'm not going to go into details, but just a couple of examples, like your 5.56, 7.62, your AK 7.62, and your 7.62 by 51, which is your 308, I think, I can't remember. But generally this is what it is. However, with your sniper rifles, it comes in bolt action or semi-auto, alright? And it uses a more powerful round, which has a further reach as compared to a DMR. That's what I think a sniper is set apart from your basic DMR. I'm just going to grab one stack just in case we need it later on. Alright, so to demonstrate how far can a sniper rifle reach in this game, obviously there will be a weapon drop, a ballistic bullet drop. So I'm going to engage targets at tower 1, right? Just by standing up right now. Take a look at how much sway is going on. I'm trying to correct it right now. I'm just going to put my crosshair over the target, and then I'm going to let go of my mouse. So this is just me letting go of the mouse. My right hand is not doing anything right now, and look at the sway. Alright? In order to reduce that, you have a couple of options. By crouching or by proning. So by crouching, you can see how much it is reduced. Well, sway still exists, but it's much bearable, I would say. And then going prone, you can see how much is reduced as compared to when you are standing up. Hold on. Alright, right now. Right. So there's another method which will most likely eliminate your sway entirely. Take a look at the top right hand corner of the screen. You will see this icon that's blinking. Like, you can see your rifleman icon, but then at the bottom there's a bipod flashing. So I'm just going in and out of areas where you can and cannot deploy your bipod. So once you see this icon, you're ready to press C, your default key, which is C for Charlie. And then you can go in and take a look. How much sway has been reduced? Right? Well, it still exists. And also depending on how out of breath you are. So let's engage this target at tower 1. Right target. I'm going to do a left click and try to take it down. Alright, engage target left. Well, you realize that, okay, since now there's a target, it's a pop-up target, you will know that I hit the target because the panel actually, the metal piece actually drops, and then it pops up again. Say for example, in a situation where you have no idea where your bullets are landing, if you have hit your target or not, by left clicking once, you will zoom out and then you chamber around, right? That's not really efficient if you want to know where your target, where your bullets are landing. So what you can do is, instead of tapping your mouse once, what you do is you hold your mouse right? Just hold it. Do not let go. Just left click. The minute you left click, you do not let go, right? So I'm going to demonstrate now. Alright, left click already. I am not going to let go of this left click at all. This thing can last as long as your left click is held down or your mouse is held down. Until you let go, then the character will chamber around as such. Right? So I can hold down for as long as I want. If I have a tape, I could tape it down, go make a coffee, come back, and then once I'm comfortable with it, I'll take away the tape, and then it'll chamber around. I don't have any ammo right now. I'll demonstrate once more. Okay, as a sniper, you also can page up, page down to range your target if you're not using Ace. Ace is a bit different. Right, I'm going to demonstrate the whole weapon, fire hole, or however you want to call it. So shoot once, I'm not gonna let go, make coffee, come back. If the mouse is still being held down, it's still fine. And I'm gonna let go now. Chambers a new round into the weapon. Okay, onwards to the next one. You have your underbarrel grenade launcher. Pretty straightforward. It's a underbarrel grenade launcher. It launches the grenade really far. That's about it, really. Okay, so you can cycle. It to your grenade launcher, as shown. And then what you can do is you can use page up and page down key to zero your range. So in this case, it's an increment of 50. So for example, say 200 meters, and I'm going to aim somewhere here. It should fly 200 meter ish, right? About there. Do it once more. Typical grenade launchers can go up to 350 meters, so it's a bit hard to see afterwards already. So this is 350. Yep, about there. So using page up, page down keys, you can actually zero your target. And if you are using, say, on low settings, you would not be able to see this bunch of numbers in front of you right now on the iron sights. What the game does for you is that take a look at the top right corner. You will see that I'm ranging my target at 350 right now, and then page down once is 300 since it's an increment and decrement of 50. So that's one thing. Helps you range your target. And also one thing is that if you're not using, like what I mentioned earlier, if you're using lower settings, all of those numbers is a complete blur. Low settings texture or something like that. It's a complete blur. You will not be able to see it at all, right? Unless you know the weapon by heart, then yeah, that's good for you then. Onwards to the next one, which we have grenades. We take a couple of those. Stun, frags, probably take 2 of each. So you start your stun grenade. Typical grenade keybind will be a G. Pressing G will just chuck the grenade. Alright. Alright, so we picked up 2 frag, 2 stun, and 2 smoke. Does this mean that you have to use all of your stun grenades or your smoke grenades in order to change to the next grenade? No. What you can do is to hold down left control and then press G while you hold down the left control to cycle your grenades, as demonstrated on the top right of the screen. If you're using Ace, well, things are gonna be easier. It'll be a bit easier for you. Say you want to throw it into a house, right? So for example, let's just take an example. This 2 gaps down here is a window, and then behind it is inside the house already, right? Say I want to throw a smoke grenade into the house. What I do is a Shift G, and you will see your trajectory, right? So red color, red dot. Red dot means that this grenade will hit this material or surface, and then it will bounce off. It will not go through at all. However, if you see a yellow dot, means to say that this grenade may or may not be able to go past this material, say a glass or maybe a smaller opening, alright, depending on how big the grenade is. Whereas for green means that it will safely reach that spot, and then okay, there might be a bit of roll depending on the grenade and how far you throw it. But generally, green is a good indication that the grenade will land there. It will land within that spot, right? So, for example, you wanna throw that much, right? You will see the trajectory going into the house. If you're unsure, you can. I don't really know if you can do a third person, but yeah, third person will be fine. Alright, so once you're ready, you have a couple of instructions in front of your screen. Left click to throw, middle mouse scroll to change mode. I will touch on that later on. And then middle mouse to click middle mouse to cook your grenade. I wouldn't recommend cooking a frag grenade. That's really dumb. Right click to cancel. Alright. So we're just gonna chuck the grenade. Know what? Left click to throw, right? So just chucking in will be very boring. So I'm gonna cook the grenade. Smoke grenade is fine. I'm gonna do a middle mouse and then observe the top right of the screen. You will have a message that says grenade is primed, something along that line, so that it tells the user that alright, your grenade is now primed and is ready to be thrown. Whereas for frag grenades, you wouldn't want to hold it for too long. Probably a second would be fine. So I'm gonna do it right now. Prime, left click, and there goes the grenade. So I'm gonna change say I'm gonna do a shift G, do a change mode. Okay, observe how far the grenade is flying. Is being thrown. Trajectory is being projected right now. It's gonna hit that this target. In a change mode, it's gonna hit the floor right in front of me, as I'm gonna demonstrate right now. See? Well, there might be a bit of roll and bounce. It's fine, but generally it should be in that area and that direction. Okay. Pretty simple. Let's go expand a couple of grenades. Do a G. Get down because there's fragmentation all everywhere. So I have to watch out. Ooh-wee. Alright. That's done. On to the next one. Right, firing from vehicle. There's three types of firing from vehicle. So one is you open a hatch or you wind down the windows, or you are actually at the side of the vehicle firing your primary weapon. Second would be a mounted gun, as you can see on the left side. And last but not least, you have your crow system, which is like a remote controlled gun. Think about it. Right? So first thing first, we're going to take a look at the firing from vehicle. Your hatch gunner. We call it hatch gunner, but I'm not too sure what you guys call it. Generally it's still the same, right? So what you're going to do is navigate down with your action menu, navigate down to turn out. You can turn out. Once you turn out, you are in free load mode. In order to so-called activate your firing from vehicle mode, all you do is to left click and you're ready to go. As such. Alright. So once you're done, and if you don't feel safe or you are ready to dismount, you can turn in, or you can double tap V to dismount. But I'll turn in, just in case you're on the way, you don't feel safe, everything's firing at you. The cabin of this vehicle is rather bulletproof. You're pretty much safe. Let's get out of this vehicle and go into the gunner seat. But technically, I do not need to get out of the vehicle, but for the sake of this demonstration. Alright. Pretty straightforward. You start firing with your left click, right click to zoom in, zoom out, or you change view in a sense. So once you're in this view, you can do a plus minus key on your numpad to zoom in and zoom out. Alright. Also, you can zero your gun by doing a page up, page down. In this case, it will be in the increment of 100. Increment of another 100. Then once you're comfortable with it, you start firing. It's pretty simple though. In this case, so I don't think I need to explain anything else. Let's move on to crow system. Okay, depending on the vehicle itself, most vehicles like your Cup and RHS, you'll be presented with this, which is in a 3D space in the cabin of the vehicle, and you can move the mouse around. What I'm doing right now is holding left alternate and doing a free loop. Once I let go, it's already back into the remote control mode. So as you can see, it's not the easiest to identify enemies and a friend or foe, right? What you can do is to do a right click and you'll be presented with this view, which is your actual camera view. Okay, so I don't want to waste too much time, so plus minus key on your numpad zooms in and out. Alright, in order to zero your weapon, same thing, page up, page down. However, there's another extra option that you can zero your weapon in your close mode, or your close gunner, as a close gunner, sorry. Okay, I would like you guys to take a look at these 3 points, alright? I'll explain to it. You definitely won't be able to have, like, you know, looking at these 3 points at once, but I'll explain as we go, alright? So just pick one point and then just take a look at it. So right now I'm going to press the T key, T for tango. I'm going to press it in 3, 2, 1, alright? So the number changes. What this is that it's telling you that you are roughly, or you are exactly 392 or 393, depending on what numbers are you looking at, that far meter away from your target. Right? So once you range your target, once you zero in your target with the same key, you are ready to fire and the round will land on that target. That you do not need to compensate for anything for drop and all that. It's already compensated. So what I'm going to do is to fire one round. This is a grenade launcher. It's an automatic grenade launcher. Fire one round at this target, the right target of tower 1. Alright? Right, it will hit on the dot. Alright? Okay. So I'm going to move to tower 2. I'm not going to range anything at all. I'm not going to range, I'm not going to lace anything. Tower 1 is much closer. Tower 2 is much further away. Okay? So I'm going to point at this guy. Right target of tower 2. I'm going to do a left click. It will not hit or square on the target. It might hit somewhere near it, and it's a grenade launcher, it will damage it. But it will not hit square on the target. Alright? I'm going to demonstrate it now. It will never do it. Because it is ranged at 300 at... It is zero in at 392. And the range from the right target that we are looking at right now to us is 460. Right now, if we do it, we will hit square on. Right? About there, somewhere there. Right, so we're done with that. I'm going to the driver's seat. So, if you're a driver, if you're going to be a driver, first thing first you need to know is that in order to on your engine, you need to either press the forward key or backwards key, or yeah, forward or backwards key, or you can do you can press 2 on your keyboard, on your hotbar. Once you're done with that, you can either press the star key on your numpad to activate free look, or you can hold down the left alternate key to activate free look. And once you let go, you are back into the center view. Okay, there's 2 methods of driving. Well, I won't use 2 methods, but 2 ways of driving the vehicle. One is with A and D to steer the vehicle. The other is to use your mouse to steer the vehicle. And you notice this this arrow right now, where as I'm steering further left on the left side, and then it goes to the right side. Alright. This is an indication as to where your vehicle is pointing with the mouse. If you are not in a free look mode. Right. I prefer, my method personally is to activate free look mode with a star key and then use WASD to steer the vehicle. But then again, it's completely up to you how you want to drive. But yeah, let's dismount and go on to the last bit of this tutorial, where we come across launchers. They are fairly easy to understand, but depending on your skill level and depending on how much time you have in this game, it may or may not be easy to master. Okay, before I start, alright, there are 4 types of rocket. 4 types of launchers: dumbfire, reloadable, or disposable. Second one would be your tow launcher, which is your wire guided launcher. Third one is your lock-on launchers, like your javelin and all that stuff. We'll go into details afterwards. And then your fourth and last one would be your surface-to-air missiles. or surface to air launcher, right? So what we took earlier, this one, is a disposable dumbfire launcher. Alright, in order to pull out your launcher, you press 3 on your hotbar. I'm just gonna call the top key hotbar. I really don't know what's it called. The keys above your QWERTY and all that stuff, I'm not sure. Alright, so we have a couple of targets in front. What we're gonna do is to right click and then fire, which will not happen because there is a safety mechanism built into this specific launcher, and also depending on the launcher itself, there may or may not be a safety mechanism built into it. So please watch out, watch your fire. In order to release the safety mechanism, I'm going to press R key, which is your reload key, a default reload key. Okay, now I can fire anytime. As with any dumbfire launcher, you can range it with page up, page down. So I'm going to range it at what, 200 meters, about there. And then basic courtesy is to say back blast clear, so that anyone standing behind you, right? Take a look at this diagram. Danger, back blast, danger area. Right, it's about 50-degree cone. Yeah, anyone at section B will most likely die, or well, suffers serious injury. But then again, basic courtesy, back blast clear, and then you're ready to fire. In this case, it will be about here, 200 meters, I guess. Or not. Alright. Either way, once I fire, it's used already. Alright. You can't reload this. This is a dumbfire disposable rocket. So the minute I switch back to my main weapon, it's gonna be dropped on the floor. However, if you want to know your exact range, you can get someone, or if you have a laser designator, pull it out and then range it. So the tank I'm supposed to hit earlier is at 431 meters. So next, it's your wire guided missiles. So if you're not sure what missile does it take, let's just say that this magazine slot is ammo or magazine slot is not filled up. What you can do is just drag any launcher or rockets or missiles into this slot, and it will tell you that the minute you drag, it's not highlighted at the magazine slot. That means it is not usable for that launcher, right? So you're going to grab a usable launcher, say this one, grab 2. So we grab 2, we fill up about, what, 75%, 65%, or 60% of the bag. I'm going to pull my launcher with 3 on the hotbar. There is no safety mechanism for this, so what you're going to do is just left click and then let loose the rocket. Alright, so wire guided rocket. Wire guided rockets. What a mouthful. What it is where you point is where it will go. I'm going to demonstrate now. So I'm going to shoot the rocket, and I'm just going to wiggle the mouse, and you can see how the rocket behaves, right? Just going to do this, and then it starts going left, and then go down, right? Since it's a reloadable launcher, I'm going to press R to reload, or your reload key, however you bind it. Okay, this is a HEAT, high explosive anti-tank. I'm going to pop a shot at this tank. I don't even need to range it because where I point is where it will go. You can do this, play around with it, and it will still hit the target. Alright? Okay, that's it. Onwards to the next one. Your IR locked launcher. Alright? Same thing, drag it into the ammo slot, and then drag it into the bag. Notice how it's just one rocket, and it fills up like what, 80+%, 90, even 90, I guess, 90% of the slot, because this missile is much heavier as compared to your wire guided launcher. Possibly reasons because it's extremely powerful. Alright, so what you're gonna do is do the right click, and if you're not running Ace, alright, by now you should have acquired a lock. By now you are able to fire this rocket with a left click. Well, I'm running Ace, I can't do that. I'm spamming my right click right now. I'm my mouse one right now. It is not working, alright. typical non-ace scenario, left click, you're already the missile's halfway there already. Right? So in order to, in an ace environment, in order to do a lock on, what I must do is to change the mode, the vision mode, to a thermal mode, as demonstrated. This is white hot, which means to say that anything that is emitting heat will turn bright white. This white blob right now, as you can see. And then the second one with black hot is the opposite. Anything that's emitting heat will be a black spot. This is personal preference. You do not need to be black hot or white hot to fire this weapon. It's completely up to you how you want to view your target, which is easier for you. For me, it's white hot, right? So once I'm in a mode that I'm comfortable with, I will have to decide between two different modes of firing. As you can see at these two region, right? I'm switching modes right now. One is top-down mode and one is direct mode. In most cases, your anti-tank launcher, say your Titan MPRL Compact, and in this case a Javelin, you have two different modes to play around with. Usually top-down mode is for tank, and direct is just for any, well, light armored vehicles that you want to take down, right? So we're gonna fire definitely two shots, direct and top-down. We're gonna do direct first, alright? Say at this BTR, alright? So, as you can see, you have acquired a target. You're gonna press tab and hold. The default key is tab, I believe. So once you tap and hold, you notice that there's this opaque gray. So what that does is that you have to keep your lock. No matter what happens, you have to keep your lock within this field, right? As you can see right now, somewhere within this field, until someone cuts in or something cuts in the line of sight. So once it's done beeping and it changes tone, you will see this intersecting lines, and at the top right of it, you will see the word seek. The minute you hear that, means to say you're ready to fire. You do not need to wait in this mode. Once you hear it, do a mouse one, let it fly. Right? Boom. I'm gonna do a reload. We'll do top down now. So let's acquire a target again. I'll show you that you do not need to be in a certain mode in order to use a different type. Alright, so top down mode. Maybe say this T-72. Generally, top down mode is for attacking tanks. So once again, beeping, beeping, beeping. The minute it changes, you can do a mouse one. You do not need to wait. No hesitation needed. Ready to fire? Do a left click, let it fly. Notice how high the missile goes as compared to direct mode. Because at the top, generally it tanks, right? The top is the most vulnerable, or the bottom maybe. The sides, front and rear, yeah, it's debatable, right? So I mean, we did hit, it didn't blow up, maybe because I put it as do not receive damage, right? And let's move on to the next one. Well, this is not the last because there's a trick I want to show you guys, right? So this is a surface to air missile, very straightforward. I'm just going to load one round in. Okay, round's loaded. There's nothing special, right? Just look at it, hear the tone change, left click fire. Okay, there's a lot of methods as to how you can increase your probability of hit, but that is also dependent on your server's training or where you are playing. Alright, so I'll let them decide this whole thing. But generally, what I do is that I'm more comfortable with looking down the sight with right click and then tracking the target. Once the tone change, I'm ready to fire. Alright. As you can see, I hit but the thing is that the heli deployed countermeasures, which may throw your rocket off. I mean your missile off. Alright. One trick I want to show you guys, which we found out some time back, is that you can use an IR lock launcher. Alright. Yeah, it may sound stupid, I know, trust me. If it works, it works. Alright. Well, with limitations, of course. So what you're gonna do is acquire your target. do a lock, and I'll show you why it's so funny because I'm going to fire. This is direct mode. Ouch. Missile goes and boom. Notice something different? There's no countermeasures. Because that guy can't detect the missile. Not at all. But this is depending on where your server. If there are more milsim, then definitely this is a no-no. Other than that, yeah, this is one of a couple of ways that you can defeat the air unit. So yeah, I'm hurt right now. Don't worry about that. Okay, now that we're done, this is the end of the tutorial, but not yet. So in conclusion, I showed you what is your basic items that you need in your soldier, and then we move on to pistols, which is just basic sidearm. If you've played a first-person shooter before, it's very basic. Sidearm is sidearm. There's no change, alright? And then SMG, which is your faster firing sidearm, if I were to simplify it. And then shotguns, I do not need to explain. So we have semi-auto and automatic shotguns. Move on to assault rifles, which is still very basic if you've played FPS. Generally, assault rifle comes in two different fire modes: semi-auto, automatic. And then afterwards we move on to automatic weapon, or your squad automatic weapon. There's various names, but do note that they are technically assault rifle with a lot of rounds and only has one fire mode, which is just spray and pray, full auto. Okay. And then afterwards we jump to DMR, Designated Marksman Rifle. What it is, to simplify it, it is an assault rifle which has a higher powered scope, comes in either semi-auto, automatic. Then afterwards we went on to sniper rifles. So what sets a sniper rifle aside from a DMR is that a sniper rifle has a more powerful round, a more powerful bullet. It can reach much further than a DMR, and it comes either in semi-auto or a bolt action. And I also showed you how to fire a shot without chambering the round immediately, so you can see where your round land, if you actually hit your target, what sort of adjustments you need to make. Then after that, we did under barrel grenade launcher. Pretty simple. It's pretty much a grenade launcher, a gun that shoots grenade at the bottom of your gun. Taught you how to zero target with page up, page down. Then afterwards we have grenades, your different types of grenade. I did show smoke, stun, fright. How you can, within an ace environment, how you can actually see your trajectory. And for those that are not using the ace mod, how you can switch your grenade. I mean that applies with ace also, but the only difference that you are missing out without an ace mod is that you are not able to see your trajectory. So just by pressing G, you have to gauge how far the grenade is going to be thrown. That's about it. And then next we have firing from vehicles or vehicle mounted weapons. So firing from vehicles, I show you guys that you can go to a vehicle and then open up the hatch, and then you fire with your primary weapon. Then firing from vehicle, you have your traditional on the top turret gunner, or you have the more high-tech kind of crow system, which is a remote controlled gun. And I taught you how to zero the gun, which would put your crosshair precisely, put your gun and your crosshair wherever you want it, and it will still hit. Okay? Last but not least, we have 4 different launchers. A dumbfire launcher, disposable or reloadable. Then you have your TOW, which is your wire guided launcher, IR lock launchers, and then your surface to air missile. And also as a bonus, I showed you that using an IR lock missile, you can actually take down a heli without it deploying countermeasures. I don't think it will actually detect the missile at all. It doesn't detect at all from my experience. So in our environment, we tried it. I couldn't detect the missile at all. I used a plane. I was in a heli. The missile warning did not sound at all. There's completely nothing, and I just got shot out of the sky. But with that, it comes with a price. You do not have as far of a range as you have with the surface to air missiles. This is pretty much the first tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave my mod list in the link below in the form of Google Drive. Also, I will also timestamp every single segment of the way, from basic items down to DMR, all the way down to this launcher and this conclusion. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you want to see more, let me know. What sort of difficulty are you facing? If you're a new player or a player that is who is learning a certain aspect of the game, do let me know what you would like to see, what's troubling you right now at this moment. So yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!